Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. In this video, we will learn about the another important concept, that is nothing but environment variables. So what is this environment variables? So environment variables are something like a key value pairs that are essentially names that hold the values or strings of text. So that is main thing. So these values influence the behavior of various programs, scripts and the shell itself within your Linux system. They store frequently used settings and paths. So there are two types of environment variables. One is session wide variables available within your current shell session. They are lost when you close the terminal window. Another one is system wide variables set for all users and sessions, making them global. So now if you want to check this environment variable, so if you are coming from the programming point of view or something like that, so you may be having idea about this what I want to tell you is that one about the environment variables. So if you want to check this all environment variables, so there are two types of two commands are there. One is print env, so that if you type print this one, so these are all the way so these are all the available environment variables for this session, okay, for this session. So now for example, if you try to see here, the username is test user, right? So now here for example, if you try to check another one, log name is test user. So for example, if I try to go with another one and if I log in with another session means, so if you try to check this one, so now if you print the env, if you try to check it, now here the user is Leela. Here you will be able to see the user is Leela, and in this one if you try to see here, the user will be different. So I don't know where this user, user is test user. So that means, so there may be some variables which exist same in between the sessions, but these are all session based keywords like user, Leela, and these all the things. So based on the session, some variables will be missing. So that is called as a session wide variables available within your current shell session. So they are lost when you close the terminal window. Okay. So that is one thing which I want to explain it to you. So now system wide variables means, so set for all users and sessions, making them global. So common things which you will be able to see is the path of your home directory. So for example, common home directory, shell, path, user, present working directory, editor, language, like this. So these things. So now if you another command which you can check for all the variables, environment variables, env also. So these will list all the environment variables. Print env or the env lists all the environment variables. So now if you want to print a particular variable, so for example, let's say that I want to check particular user. So I want to check the user in the environment variable. So here you can type something like echo user. If you try to see here, so you are not able to get the username, fine, right? So now if you want to get the variable from there means, so you need to use the dollar. Okay, so dollar user displays the value of a specific variable. So here now you will be able to see a test user. So this is how you will be using it. So now if you go here, echo dollar user, for this one only if you try to check it, echo dollar user, and this one will be different. And if you check here echo dollar home means, then you will be able to see home/test user, and for this one echo dollar home means, then it will be a different home/Leela. So these are all by sessions or by login it will be changed. And echo present working directory, if you want to check it means present working directory. This one is so this one is also same. So present working directory means, so if you try to go to cd, let's try to check their list. So we are here, right? Let's go into the desktop. Okay, now the present working directory will be home/test user/desktop, but home will be always same. So present working directory means with this one. So we also have another one, something like, I didn't remember. Let's try to check in the env grep old. So old present working directory. So you can also use the old present working directory. So it will tell you the previous where the present working directory is. So this is the thing. So these are something like a environment variables where we can use it with the session thing. So now setting the variables temporarily means, so you can use it to set the variables temporarily. And what I want to tell you is, for example, let's say that, let's stop this one. So what I can do is, so if you want to, so for example, let's say that what I want to do. So we can also set the temporary variables. For example, let's say that setting the variables temporarily, we can use it. So let's say that echo if you want to, or otherwise let's say that person is equal to Leela, if you try to see it. And whenever you try to do echo $person means, so Leela you will be able to see it. But when you try to see within another profile means, another login profile means, you will not able to get it. So this means this one is setting up temporarily. Okay, so if you try to check env env grep person means, you will not able to see it. So for example, let's say that you want to check it, you want to have it like this means, so this one is something like what I am trying to tell is, person is equal to Leela means, so you are setting the variable. This is a shell variable, you are setting it. But if you want it in the environment variables means, so you need to use the export person is equal to Leela. So now let's try to see the env, and I want to grep with the person, I want to check it. Now you will be able to see that it has been added in the environment variables. But when you close this session and when you on this session again, so this one will not be available. Now you have added it in the environment variable, right? If you try to check it in the env, somewhere you will be able to see that person thing. So here you will be able to see, and not this one. So somewhere you will be able to see, here you will be able to see the person is equal to Leela. In the same thing, if you want to check it here, echo $person means, you will not able to get it. That's one thing which I want to tell you. That means it will be available in the current session only. Or otherwise, if I close this session and if I open this session, new session, if I try to open it and I will try to check the person means, then it is not available. So this one is setting up the variables temporarily. If you want to make the variables permanent means, so there are different types of variables available. So those are called as in startup files. Okay. So that is about the startup files. So there are different types of startup files is there. So system wide startup and also the user specific startup. So for example, let's say that if you try to see in the cat /etc/ profile means, so this one is the file which you will be able to see, this all the file. So this one is global settings for all users, impacts the login shell also. So you will be having login shell and also non-login shell. Non-login shell, this one is by default when you try to open this one is a non-login shell. Now if you try to log in with this one means, then it is a login shell. So you have logged in. So this one impacts the login shell and also a non-login shell. So let's try to exit here. And now here, for example, let's say that if you want a global settings, if you want to add a global settings for all the things permanently means, so there will be a file called as an ls -etc or otherwise ls -etc /bash.bashrc. So this is the file which is available. So this one is the file which you will be able to see. So this one is a global settings. So this one will be available permanently across all the login shell. This bashrc file. So here you will be having all the global settings specific to the bash shells, also for the login. So like this, these are system thing. So for example, if you want to set for a user specific for particular profile means, then what you will try to do it is, so let's try to end it here. User specific means you have another one called as an dot profile. So if you try to go to your home page, okay, so cat dot profile, I didn't remember exactly. This is the settings for the individual user login shell. If dot bash underscore profile exists, it takes the precedence. So we also have another one is called as an dot bash rc. So it will impact for the non-login session. For example, let's say that, so this one is a non-login session. So if you want to impact it for this non-login session means, then what you need to use, then you need to use the bash rc. So I will try to show you that bash rc. So nano.bash rc file. So this one is the thing. And if you want to add it means, so here at the bottom you can add it, export, okay, person is equal to leelawebdev. So I have added it like this, and I will save it and I will try to exit it. Okay, and here if you try to check the echo $person, now we need to restart it. So for restarting, for reading this one, so we can say .bashrc. Okay, so it has read this bashrc file again. Now if I try to do this echo person, see, you are able to get it. Whereas in the login shell, so this one is also a non-login shell. If you whereas in the non-login shell, whereas in this one, so we will not able to get. Let's try to read this one. I think it will be available. Whether we have logged into this one or not, I didn't remember exactly. Non-login shell. So let's try to source. Okay, so this one is a non-login shell, right? So this one is for the login shell. So for the non-login shell, so we will be, this one is login. So if I try to do the exit, so now you will be able to get it. So now here across the sessions, so here if I try to do echo $person, now we need to read this source .bashrc, source, or otherwise if you can also do something like, you can close it and you can open a new session and you can do this one echo $person. So then also it will work. Okay, so it will work. So why? Because so you need to close the session and you need to open it again. So like this. So now when you log in, so for example when you log in as some other user, then this one will not work. So here like this. So now here what I want to do is echo $person. If I try to do it, now you will get it as an empty. Why? Because I have set it in the only in the non-logged in user. So that is, this is about the bashrc file. And for example, if you want to change the prompt or something like that, means so you have a variable that is called as an ps1. ps1 is equal to type here. If you try to type it like this, then you will be able to type here, and let's try to give double quotes, and here you will be able to see this is the command. So if I try to do it like this, you will be able to see type here. So we have your own customized command prompt also, you can use it. For example, when I close this session, okay, close terminal, and if I try to open it, then again it will come back to the normal thing. So in order to not to come back with the normal thing, means what you will try to do it is, so you will do nano.bashrc file, you will open it, and let's go to the bottom, and what I have written it at the end, right? So I will try to show you export ps1 is equal to type here ... That's it. So now save and control exit, and now when I try to open a new terminal, automatically, so let's try to open it again. I think so we need to keep it in double quotes. I think let's try to keep it in double quotes. Nothing happens. So here I will keep it in double quotes. Okay, yeah, control S, exit, and now I will close this session, and if I try to open it here, see, you will be able to see customized thing. So whenever you open a command prompt for the non-login sessions, you will be able to see it like this. For example, if I try to log in as another logged in session, then you will be not able to see this one. See, Leela@leelawebdev will come. So this is about the bashrc file. I will try to explain you some more explaining about this one. I will not go deeper into this environment variables. I will explain you the basic thing about this environment variables things. Hope you understood about this bashrc file and environment variables. If you have any doubts, so just what I have explained you is, so we will be having the environment variables. For checking this one, you can use the env, and if you want to change permanently across the terminals, if you want to change it, means then you need to use the bashrc file, so that in the bashrc file, whatever the key value pairs you will be using, it will be valid across all the sessions. Okay, and it will be valid across all the sessions. So that is one thing. And also another thing you need to understand is, so if you are login session, so if the shell is having a login session, means then it will be another one. Okay, so this is what I want to tell you. Hope you understood about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.